Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rocks with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. You guys know how much I hate talking about your stupid ass president. However, this one we cannot avoid. Let's talk about Trump separating kids at the border from their parents. This is a result of a zero tolerance policy that they started enforcing in April of this year. Now, Trump ran his campaign on tougher immigration laws. It seems to only be when it's people that are coming from Central America, possibly from Africa, places that seem to have the most undesirable types. According to your dumbass president. Anyway, in April of this year, they started enforcing this zero tolerance policy, and from April to May, in the 6-week span, they had over 2,000 kids that were separated from their parents at the border. And the reason that they said that this was done is because they're going to be prosecuting the parents, but these children could not be prosecuted. So they had to separate the kids from the parents and then hold them, detain them until a family member came to pick them up. And, that would pose a problem because if the family is in Mexico or somewhere else, and they couldn't get to these kids are just sitting and, nobody really knows what exactly happened to them. Amidst the backlash, the serious backlash from both Republicans and Democrats that this is immoral and illogical for him to separate these children, some being babies, from their parents, your dumbass president was under a lot of pressure. People were saying that he could stop this with something as simple as a phone call. It was not a law that's in place, but instead just a policy that he signed. I guess an executive order to be exact. The Trump administration keeps saying that they don't have a policy that separates the children from their families. That is actually in place because of Barack Obama. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys what I think I've come up with in my little bit of research. I'm not saying that this is exactly right, but from what I understand, all of these executive orders is what the bottom line problem is. Now, when Barack Obama was president, he signed an executive order to try to tackle the immigration issues by saying they would deport dangerous people, dangerous immigrants, meaning gang members, drug dealers, murderers, things like that, people like that. So the executive order was already there. When Trump came into the office, he rolled back some of the policy that Barack Obama had on that, and instead of saying dangerous people, he just said people that had criminal offenses. And that is a way more broader spectrum of folks. It could be anybody from a serious criminal, murderer, drug dealer, gang member, all the way down to someone who had a misdemeanor. So you're getting way more people caught up into this loop, and now they're being held, separated at the border, and so on and so forth. Again, I'm just giving you guys just my understanding. The executive order seems to be the issue. Instead of people working to try to get this actually put into law, it just seems that as new administrations come in, they sign an executive order. It puts a temporary Band-Aid on whatever the issue is. And then when the new administration comes in, the Band-Aid is ripped off and they do whatever they want to do. And nothing is ever. So it's just sort of like a back and forth instead of them trying to get this as a law. Well, they can't get it as a law because nobody can agree on the immigration law. They're saying that Trump really was trying to hardball, trying to be tough on the Democrats. He was saying that it was their fault that this was happening, and that's sort of just semantics. It's more so him saying that they know what I want, which is this border wall. And the fact that they can't agree on this border wall, and for us to get this new immigration law into effect, he was not going to do anything to try to change what was happening down there at the borders. The Democrats will not agree. So that's why he is saying that it's more so their fault, because he already has put out there what he wants. Like I said, there was a whole bunch of public outcry. It seemed to have come to a head yesterday when Rachel Maddox was on her show, and she almost started crying when she was talking about the tender age camps for toddlers and below, that they were separating these families. She was so overcome with emotion that she could not You know, she couldn't even say her segment. When that aired, I think that made Donald Trump, you know, finally decide, okay, now it's time to go in and sign another executive order to stop these families from being separated from their children. He said, quote, "I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated," unquote. Y'all dumbass president is something else. Just the other day, he said that he couldn't even sign an executive order to stop it, but now he's saying that child, I just can't. Anyway, so now they're going to stop separating families. Nobody really knows what happens to the families that are already separated. There is no plan in place to get these children reunited with their parents. But this will stop any further separation. So still very problematic order that's going on down there. It seems like it's going to be a bigger mess to me, because if you're going to be detaining and holding all these people, including now families that are keeping together, you got to put them somewhere. That seems like that is going to be even more money out of the government trying to house all these people. They say that they're looking at detention facilities in Texas and Arizona and down south, and just really a whole ass mess. So there's still plenty of work to be done down there. Completely scary when you think about what's going on in our government, and just the lack of any type of empathy, sympathy, no moral standings, just kind of treating people's lives as bargaining chips. You know, it's just terrible. And I don't know what I would do if I was separated from my children. Okay, just the thought is unfathomable. We're going to definitely hear more about this immigration thing. We'll see what happens if they decide to do anything with those families that were already separated. I will tell you guys more about it as it comes along. This is something that we can't ignore. So, yeah, that's the 411 on Yo Stupid Ass President this week. All right, rock stars, and sad news. A rest in peace for, how do you say his name? Is it Extentacion or is it Triple Extentacion? Jose Onfroy was killed on Monday as he left a motorcycle dealership, or he was right in front of a motorcycle dealership. I'm not sure if he was there or not. I've heard mixed stories. But he was shot and killed as his car was stopped out front of the dealership. They say that two masked men robbed him, in essence. I guess they were trying to get the car originally. They say that witnesses say that they heard them yelling for him to get out of the car. When he did not, supposedly they shot him in the torso a few times, or in the neck. Again, I've heard a bunch of different reports of where he was shot, and did not get the car, but did take his Louis Vuitton backpack that was in there, and they took off. He was 20 years old, and really, truly at the beginning of his life. Even still, he has had quite an involved 20 years of living. I didn't know much about this man. I didn't know much about his music. I still don't. I knew that he was a rapper. I've talked about him a few times on Top of the Blogs. None of the stories were the most favorable. Okay, remember, he had been, most recently, he was in jail and was waiting, I guess, to go to court over torturing his pregnant girlfriend and kidnapping her, and witness tampering. They said that he was threatening her to make sure that she did not testify against him. So he has had some problems in the past. However, people are saying that he was on the quest to better his life, become a better person, and that mission was cut short because he was killed. So the bad part about that is, if he was indeed in this quest to become a better person, he will never be able to do that. And now people will be remembering him, at least some people will be remembering him, as this bad person who abuses women and things like that. But he's also had some robbery, gun charges, and things like that in his past. Okay, so not the best past, but From what I understand, people said had a promising future. They say that he talked about his life and his music, and that he seemed to have a premonition, which a lot of these rappers do. Seems like they're preoccupied with death, but they're saying that he had a premonition that maybe his life was going to end. Now, there is a rapper, a local rapper in Florida. He was killed in Deerfield Beach, I believe it was, Florida. I don't know why my voice is shaking. I had coffee, so I'm, a little bit riled up. But there's this local rapper by the name of Soldier Kid. Right after it happened, the next day, I saw a tweet going around. I'm not sure if the tweet was authentic, but there was a tweet supposedly from this Soldier Kid boy who said that he, somebody is watching me record behind me. Anyway, he said that, damn, I can't believe I just shot Extentacion. Excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong. Damn, I'm gonna go viral. Okay, and they also had pictures of him posted at some fish and chips restaurant, not even 10 minutes away from where Extentacion was killed. He posted a picture of his food, and in his lap there was the butt of a gun and, a little bit of the barrel that you could see. They also have a picture of him in a convertible where there is a red mask that is seen. And from what some people are saying, it has not been confirmed by the police, but they're saying that the person who shot him had on a red mask, like a hockey, like Friday the 13th Jason mask. People saying that Soldier Kid is responsible for his death. He came out and said that he didn't, but he also started talking about his music and all this. So it looks like he's using this opportunity, whether he did or did not do it, to try to promote himself. Just crazy. If he did do it, what kind of fool puts that kind of shit on the social media? But see, in this day and age where people want to get recognition at any cost, okay, you can almost see somebody doing something like that. So they're saying that the police are investigating all this. I'm sure that they are. So far, he has not been arrested. And at least so far as of this video, because sometimes shit happens after I post and then you guys be like, oh, you didn't say this, that, and the other. As of right now, this morning, because this is morning before work, he hasn't been arrested. But yeah, just sad. Another life cut short. Gun violence. Over something as simple as stealing a Louis Vuitton bag. I mean, I know that that's a lot of money for some people, but in the grand scheme of things, you have killed somebody, taken a life, another parent without their child. I guess he's got a kid on the way, or if the girls had a baby, that is another child who will not have their father. And just senseless to me, just crazy. A lot of people have spoken out, celebrities, people who did and didn't know him. There were memorials. They had a big old riot in Los Angeles over him. I mean, it's just been a whole lot with this case. And I'm sure we'll hear more about it. Hopefully they will catch those who killed him, because it's just ridiculous that everybody's out there killing folks, okay? I have heard the conspiracy theories. I'll leave those for you guys to go out and research. There's one going around with Drake, saying that Drake's newest song, I'm Upset, kind of laid out a plan or a plot for somebody to shoot and kill him. I guess Drake and him have had some sort of Twitter beef in the past, where they say that X accused Drake of stealing his flow. So again, I will leave you guys to research on that one. I don't think that Drake would. I mean, there would be no need for Drake to do something like this. They're saying that X might have a whole lot of dirt on Drake, and Drake came up with this plot to get him killed so that would never come out. It's not impossible, but I just don't see it happening. But it's out there, just letting you guys know. But anyway, with all that being said, prayers up to his family, his friends, his fans around the world. He seemed to have quite a few of them. Some of them seem to have surfaced after his death, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just going to say we have got to stop this violence out there, you guys. It is alarming. Social media makes it even worse. I had to log out yesterday because I couldn't take it no more. But yeah, rest in peace to Jose Anfroy. right, you guys. So your boy Clifford Harris, T.I. That dick gonna keep his ass in trouble, huh? He can't get away from the ass, y'all. It's something in him. It's innate. He cannot help himself. Now, there has been a video that was surfaced the other day of somebody recording T.I. He looked like he was backstage. I heard music in the background, so I'm not quite sure where he was. But T.I. was in a room with a couple of other people. A girl crosses across the frame of the video, and she sits down next to him, leans into him. Right when she's sitting down, he grabs and gropes her ass a couple of times, you know. She sits down and leans into his chest, okay, bringing her phone up. Not quite sure if she's doing a selfie or what. I was just like, girl, that you might not want to do that. Maybe it was for her own good. But, you know, when she's leaning into him, he's kind of cupping her breast and feeling on her. Okay, things that we didn't see them fucking. However, they were quite familiar with each other, very comfortable with being out in the open when T.I. is indeed still a married man. Now, you guys know that T.I. and Tiny have kept their relationship status very... I mean, the last that we heard, they were trying to work it out. They were going to stay together. You know, they were on vacations together, and everybody's, oh, Tiny, keep your man. That's right, T.I., you know, fight for your woman. Okay, all of this and all of that. I had said that I was just going to leave it alone because you can't tell people when to leave. And obviously, Tiny is the longest suffering wife out there. She is the picture, the epitome of ride or die. So I left it alone because I like Tiny, and I don't want to keep calling her dumb and silly and, you know, all of this, because the fact of the matter is the woman gonna stay, the woman gonna stay. But T.I. finds every opportunity to keep embarrassing her by so publicly cheating. I don't think I feel sorry any longer because she knows that this is what he does. Okay, I think that the issue now is just that it's always out in the open and he always gets caught. Now let me tell you about a little bit of 6 degrees of separation. Remember a couple of weeks ago I reported to you guys that there were 3 girls that were manhandled at a Houston's restaurant out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, remember T.I. was the spokesperson of trying to improve community relations and black relations with Houston's, the chain, and that restaurant in particular, because they had a past of harassing their black customers in particular. Okay, well, one of the girls that was involved in that melee is indeed this same girl that supposedly T.I. is messing around with. And the most known girl from that group was Asia, what is her last? Was Asia Epperson. All right, and if that name sounds familiar, Asia Epperson plays Tasha Skanks on the TV show on the OWN network by the name of Greenleaf. Okay, so how we connect all them dots? Not quite sure if T.I. knew her before then, and that was the reason why he was so gung-ho on putting the story out there, or if T.I. ended up hooking up with her after that whole scuffle at Houston's restaurant. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Okay, the bottom line is somehow, some way, he felt okay with filling up her ass and her titties and everything. Okay, now Asia has not denied that it was her. Instead, she posted that you know, people out there want to put 10 on 2. I said, I guess that's the same as 20 on 10 and make something out of nothing. I don't think that that's quite nothing. Most wives that would see their husband doing something like this to another woman would have issue with that. That was clearly inappropriate touching. Anyway, she said that she doesn't have time to, you know, talk about things that don't matter. Instead, she wants to look at her 3 scripts for her 3 shows that she's on. Okay, and I was, you know, my answer to that is we don't give a fuck about that. Why do people always think that the fact that they busy, that they booked, completely validates the fact that they might be out there fucking some man? Okay, we don't give a fuck about any of that. Bitch, you can be working on 10 shows. If you mess around with a married man, a very well-known married man, then that's just what it is. So we don't give a fuck. And then on T.I.'s end, he hasn't admitted anything about it other than, oh shit, I just got a thing that said somebody was arrested for, y'all can't see that, but they say that somebody was arrested for ex's death. That was a Twitter thing. It doesn't say who the person was, but oh wow. We probably will have a follow-up with this next week. But anyway, like I said, T.I. didn't say that was him. However, he's been very quiet about this. They say that Tiny is upset. She did post things talking about, put respect on her name and all of this. And I just be like, Tiny girl, why say anything? Because in the end, you're going to stay. Okay, so you don't even have to do all that. We already mad at the nigga for what he did, but all that you doing, if you're gonna stay, it just don't even be worth it. Okay, but T.I. has said that his family is not talking to him, his kids are mad at him and everything. Again, probably because it was so openly done. But I am not surprised at all. I will say that I didn't think the video was T.I. at first, because I kept on looking at it, and when he leaned back and leaned over, that person just looked bigger than T.I. is. I've seen T.I. in person a number of times, and he is a smaller framed man, but he never denied that it was him, and turns out, yeah, it was him. Okay, so maybe it was the angle of where the person that was recording was, but let me just see if I can. I hate to mix up two stories, but I'm going to see if I can see who the suspect is. Okay, they do say that the suspect was 22-year-old Dedrick Devonshea Williams of Pompano Beach. He was arrested last night, 7 p.m. Now, I don't know if this is a rapper or because this is just on Fox News. That's the first story that came up, y'all. But so I don't know who that is, if he might have a street name. Seems like they probably would have said if it was Soldier Kid, but it might not be. Oh, and it tells me here how to say his name. It's XXX Tentacion. Okay, XXX Tentacion. All right, but yeah, somebody has been arrested. Dedrick Devonshea Williams. I will probably talk more about that next week. But anyway, getting back to the story at hand, T, I'm gonna need you to do something about your dick, nigga. If you gonna have to, y'all don't know what to do to help him out. T, I love him some new puss, child. It's just in him, y'all. Anyway, how y'all feel about it? Do you feel sorry for Tiny? Are you mad at T.I.? Okay, is this just par for the course? Just another little, smirch in their relationship, y'all? Let me know below. Alright, you guys, the Carter's album. Let's just go through it, shall we? Now, I did give it a solid beginning to end listen this morning, 2 times actually, because I just wanted to be able to tell you guys exactly how I feel about the album. And while I think the album is cool, and I think that it's it's a solid enough effort between Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's not anything that I probably would reach for anymore. You guys know I miss the Beyonce that sings the balance, and all of that. The ballads, not the balance. If their thing was to make sure that they stay relevant by making sure that their sound is what is happening in the music today, well, they achieved that. People are saying that it's more trap music like. There's even some other sort of influences in there, but anyway, let's kind of just go through the track list and I'm gonna tell you how I feel. So that first song, I'm a no. Okay, that's just a no, and I was surprised that they had that as their opening song. I didn't like it at all. So that's a no on the first one. I don't even know the name of it because I didn't put it in my notes. Now the second song, which is Ape Shit, I like Ape Shit. I'm not sure if I would have liked it on its own, but I know that the video is dope. That video is dope, and it was very smart of them to release a video along with the song, because videos, just the visual, makes us usually like a song better than if we just hear it on its own. And like I said, the fact that they're in the Louvre and that they was able to bring their dancers in there, I mean, that is some incredible, serious pull, some power that these two definitely have for, I mean, a most credible and established museum like that will let them come in there with this music. and do what they do, you know, that does not happen often. I mean, the Mona Lisa is there. That's serious pull power right there. Ape shit is something that I'm sure you would hear on the radio. I did like the song Boss. I like the musicality of it, the transitions and all of that. I did enjoy it. 713 confuses me musically. Way too much going on in that song, so that's gonna be a no for me. Friends, that song sounds like the Jhené Aiko sound to me. You know, that very monotone in one note, kind of singing very low. You guys know that Beyonce probably is an alto, but is able, her range takes her all over the place. But she's singing in that low alto, smooth, kind of sort of reminds you of like weed music. You know, you smoking, you sit back, you put that song on and you listen to it. Heard About You, I was cool with, right? I was listening to it, I was like, okay, but then, you know, all them niggas at the end, I said, child, you gonna get these white people, they gonna be so fucking confused when it comes to these concerts, they ain't gonna know what to say at the end. I mean, it ain't a quick nigga, you know, it's a whole bunch of nigga. It remind me of, y'all remember that teacher that was trying to explain the fact that there was a difference between nigger and nigga. He said, you know, he was saying nigga, not nigger, nigga. I said, Beyonce is using nigga. And these white people, child, they ain't gonna know what to do. I'ma just go on and let the white rock stars out there that's listening to me right now that maybe you should just not say none of it. Okay, when nigga come up in the concert, y'all just mute yourselves on that time. Better safe than sorry. So I like the beginning of that song, but the ending again, I don't know. Now, by the time we got to Black Effect, I was over it. I was just over it. I wasn't feeling that one. And then Love Happy is, you know, cute. It's borderline corny, and it's just all about them talking about what they have been through, and now they are back and happy in love. So I would say that Beyonce's Lemonade album, this 4 album that Jay-Z had, and then these two of them coming together, it's sort of like a trilogy, okay? And it's a story. She told her side, he told his side, then at the end they finally come together, and at the very last song they got remarried, they happy now, they got their family, they're back on track, they working on it, they ain't planning on leaving each other, you know, all of that. So all of it is very cohesive and very smart when you listen to it. Marketably smart, I should say. And for her hardcore Beyonce fans, they are going to love the album. Jay-Z, hardcore Jay-Z fans, I don't know if they want to hear Beyonce on every single one of his songs, and vice versa. I'm not sure if a lot of Beyonce fans want to hear Jay-Z on all of the songs, you know, but it was cool because they only had, how many songs was it, 9 or 10? They didn't have that many songs. So you don't have to sit there and just be like 15, 16, 17 songs out of Jay-Z and Beyonce together. So I think that it made sense, you know, for them to do this the way that they did, and hopefully on Beyonce's next album, you know, she will come back to, you know, now we ain't got to be going through all this, what the hell they went through in their marriage, and we can get back to the business of singing R&B music, okay? But you guys let me know what you think about the album. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. How's that? All right, you guys, let's talk divorces. They said that Mary J. Blige finalized her divorce from Kendu Isaacs. You guys, I talked about this a few months ago, and I thought they did finalize it a few months ago. They settled, and I guess now it's finally been set in stone by the courts. We still don't know what the ins and outs are of their settlement. It's going to be continued to be under lock and key, and they are not going to let everybody know. But I guess Mary seems to be happy that she's moved on. Kendu seems to be happy that he's moved on. I'm sure that he came out better than Mary did. I will say that. But yeah, it's a wrap on that one. Mary is now a single woman. Another divorce, Jesse Williams and his wife, Aaron Drakely. You guys know they have a very contentious divorce that they are involved in right now. Aaron had issue with Jesse. Some people saying that he was cheating on her. He went Hollywood when they moved from New York to Hollywood for him to be a regular on Grey's Anatomy. She found herself, having to deal with her man, her very fine man, being mixed up with all these Hollywood starlets. And, after she had her second baby, while the baby was still very young, her and Jesse Williams broke up. So they say that there was some bad feelings that Aaron had towards Jesse, and they say hell hath no fury like the woman scorned. So she's been after him. Okay, now originally she was getting paid $30,000 for spousal support. She said that was not enough, and she took him back to court saying that she needed $50,000 a month, and that she also needed $50,000 a month for her children. Okay, so $100,000 in total for support from Jesse Williams, and it seems that the court has agreed. Okay, so damn. $100,000, but it shouldn't be all that surprising, because with these big divorce settlements that we've been hearing, that kids are involved, and wives who didn't work are involved, and even husbands who didn't work were involved, or husbands who didn't have a bona fide 9-to-5 type job were involved. They have been getting very large settlements. We've seen it with Kevin Hart and Mary J. Blige, and we've seen it with Mike Epps, and this has been a lot of them. So not super surprising that she's getting $100,000. People are like, damn, that's gonna be all his money. No, it's not gonna be all his money, because they say that Jesse Williams makes $521,000 a month. So she's getting less than a fourth of what his income is monthly. And the fact that she didn't work, and she was a stay-at-home mom. I don't know if it's been the whole time, but at least now she is. The courts always say that the kids should not suffer, and the mother should be able to still maintain the lifestyle that they had when they were with the husband, or the spouse, I should say. So she came up. Okay, I mean, that sounds very excessive. It is a temporary order, so it probably will be changed. I don't know if it will be changed for the better or the worse for Jesse. He is not going to suffer in all this, but he still feels like that is a whole lot, and that is a fucking whole lot of money. Okay, but when you was getting $1 million every 2 months, then that kind of changes the perspective of things. You still got $800,000, and she getting $2. All right, so. I mean, rich people, rich problems. All right, you got to put it into them contexts. We can't be going on, regular layman's broke ass terms. It's on a whole nother scale when you're talking about rich folks like this. So as soon as they get this shit finalized and settled, I will let you guys know. It's probably going to be privatized. We probably won't be able to know exactly what it is, but sis came up, didn't she? All right, you guys, Daharia Becton. You guys might not remember her, but she is the then 15-year-old girl who was body slammed and pinned down to the ground by the police when the police were called to a pool party in McKinney, Texas, that quickly grew out of hand. It was way too many kids. It was a mess. Kids running all over the place, and this one policeman by the name of Eric Casebolt, he singled out Daharia. He was able to catch her, pinned her down to the ground, had her head pressed down. I mean, remember the video went viral. We talked about it on Top of the Blogs, how horrible it was. I mean, it was just 3 years ago, and so many more, way more horrible things happened to black people that almost seems like it was simple. Isn't that terrible when we think about stuff like that? All right, we've been so used to people getting killed now for something as simple as having a phone in their hand that the fact that she was pinned down don't even sound all that serious. I'll tell you, the police are some son of a bitches out there, the bad ones, I should say. So anyway, her family sued the city. Eric Casebolt did resign a few days after that happened, but her family still did go on to sue the city, and 3 years later, she's 18 years old. They reached a settlement. She was awarded $148,000. Okay. Some people are saying that's not enough for what she, what happened to her, especially after she has to pay her lawyer fees and everything. Other people are saying it's better than nothing. I did read on Shade Room that they said that, she said she's going to have a party that was bigger than the one that she got caught up at. And I don't know if that's true. I mean, these blogs, they will put shit up there just for clickbait so that people can go on and, and comment and things like that. When I was reading all the official reports on the internet, there was no talk of her saying something like that. But so I don't know if she just told some of her homegirls, and they went on and told the blogs, or what, if there's just some talk out there, they fixing to turn up. I mean, she probably only gonna end up with $50,000-$60,000 by the time she pays her lawyers and everything. I mean, that's still a lot for an 18-year-old, but in the grand scheme of things, $60,000 ain't nothing. You can spend that real quick. Trust me, I know. I have to tell you guys about when me and my husband got all this money from selling our house, child. We was shopping like some fools. Just stupid. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But I guess we'll say congratulations to Dahiria and her family. They did settle that case. And then in Quickies, you guys, what the fuck is wrong with D-Lo? This nigga is stupid. Now listen, it's talk around Twitter and shit that I saw that Brittany had that Bondi had posted D-Lo was caught cheating again. I didn't even research it. I just looked up enough to find out that they're saying that there's talk that he done got somebody else fucking pregnant in Atlanta. What the fuck is wrong with him? Do you know you on a reality show? Nigga, we ain't doing this shit serious. Okay, that's for play. I'm gonna need somebody to tell D-Lo that's for play, and he ain't got to go out there and really fuck people and get them pregnant. That nigga just taking this shit way too serious. I wouldn't even laugh about these things normally because, there's a wife and kids and family all involved in all of this. But when it comes to we done been through 3 years of Jasmine and D-Lo. Well, not 3. 2 years now of Jasmine and D-Lo and Cannon and all of this, okay? And now you mean to tell me that this nigga done fucked around and got another bitch pregnant? I can't believe it. I will not believe it until I really get some solid evidence. But I just need somebody to just go out there and sit down with D-Lo and say, baby, I'm gonna need you. If you insist on fucking around, can you at least put a condom on? Is that asking too much? Or how about you just get a fucking divorce? Because it's obvious that you don't want to be with Rashida if you keep on doing shit like that. You are out in the public eye, okay? But let me back up, because it might not be true. But they say it's out there in them streets that he is fucked around and got somebody else pregnant. I know, Rashida. I done got to the point where I want him to be on the next season just so I can see how they gonna spin this one. Okay, I guess I can't be mad, bitch. Get your money, Mona, bitch. You best get ready. The Frost Facts is fixing to come at that ass once again. That nigga's stupid. And then they're saying that Katie Ross, okay, formerly of Real Housewives of Potomac, they're saying that she posted the other day that she has not been able to see her children and that they're being held away from her. Now that leads us all to believe that her children were taken away from her, that she lost custody of them. I looked all over the internet and I couldn't find no type of story. I didn't look on YouTube, okay, but as far as articles, I wasn't able to find anything other than her tweeting that and that leading people to believe that her children were taken from her. I remember her hearing stories about, now we already knew Katie wasn't always right. Something was wrong with her to begin with. But then I started hearing that she might be on drugs a little bit, and all of that. And we even thought that while she was on the show. So it may be, that may have led to the reason why she's lost custody. But I don't have any confirmed facts that is indeed what it is. But that's what the whispering is. She hasn't seen her children. The police was called on her mother, and her grandmother on Mother's Day. And sounds like it's a whole bunch of mess going on with her and those kids. But we'll find out later on if what's going on with Katie. Just wanted to let you know. And then while we're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, congrats to Chris and Monique Samuels. She posted the other day that she can't be bothered with the drama on the show because she's full of life, okay, literally. And she posted a cute little video of her turning around and pulling her little outfit close to her stomach, and you can see her little belly. Looks like she might be about 4-5 months pregnant. Cute little pot, good for them too. We know that she's lost a baby in the past, and looks like she's able to hold on to this one, or at least she feels comfortable enough to now let everybody know that she is anticipating, okay? I was just like, Lord, one more child added to the bunch, bitch gonna stay drunk. And then lastly, okay, fist pump of righteousness for that black girl magic that is Oprah. I mean, we always have a fist pump for Oprah. Oprah's doing it. She's a confirmed billionaire, first black woman on the billionaires list, and all of that. Now it seems that Apple has signed her on to bring creative content to their streaming service. Apple Music is trying to compete with the TV and movie streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. They're trying to get their foot in the door as well. And you guys know that they already have some shows on there. And now they have secured their biggest person to date, Oprah. All right. Oprah is going to be producing on there. And they also said that she might be in, on some of the scripted shows. It's going to be a scripted show that is on there. So like I said, fist pump of righteousness for Oprah Winfrey. Okay. Nothing but respect for old Oprah. She just continues to do it and makes the black woman look even better. Do your thug thizzle, Oprah. All right, that's it, rock stars. Got to get off of here. I got an orthodontist appointment, so I got to get to it. All right, we do this every single week. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.